What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Tarun's Thoughts. My name's Tarun Shetty. These are my thoughts. Hope you guys are doing well. I had a eventful morning. I woke up and had to spread my mom's ashes on a boat. That was my delightful morning. That'll set the mood for the day. So, it is what it is. I decided to just take today off and get some espresso. Maybe go for a long walk into the ocean. But somebody recently left a comment on my YouTube page. By the way, I appreciate everybody who watches my YouTube page, the millions of followers that tune in every day. And I'm sorry if I forgot your name, but one of the comments said, hey, too bad you didn't go mainstream. I used to watch your stuff back in the day, and, but you set the groundwork for others, and that's usually what happens. I don't know. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Go read it if you want. Which, first of all, I really appreciate that comment. Thank you so much. I actually showed that to a friend just because I forget sometimes. There was a time where people used to write me just appreciative fan mail. Not like crazy amounts, but just like when I was doing like Desi OC and stuff, like stuff for Indians. People would write in and they'd say, hey, thanks, this is great. Finally something for South Asians. There was also a time, like a few years ago, when people were like, oh, dude, that sucks. You never broke through. You never went mainstream. And I was always like, what the? It's like a backhanded compliment. Like, what is this? And here's how I view it. And I think I responded. I said, hey, I'm okay with how my life turned out. Now, I say that with, tongue in cheek, because yes, there was a time when it did drive me crazy. I'm totally real with you, everybody here. There was a time when I was like, what the fuck? Like, how come I'm not breaking through here? Like, I've done everything possible, made my own movies, I've gone for these auditions, I've played ball, I've said yes to everything. Whatever you throw at me, I give it my best, blah, blah, blah. I feel like having those not failures, but like not realized goals in my life, that has brought me to this point of my awareness and just how I view everything. And honestly, do I still want mass success? Sure, I do. But I've talked about this before. It's really not the same without my mom around. But I would still like it just to have security, and so I don't have to go through gatekeepers, because I feel like that's a big deal. Not just comedy clubs, but I feel like the more fame you have, the more leverage you have. If you are someone who commands dollar signs in the box office, then you can get scripts greenlit. You can, get parts without auditioning. You can go sell at a comedy club and then cancel on them, and take 90-10 at the door, meaning 90% profits, 10% for them. Like, you have so much more leverage, and it's a small window. So in that regard, yes. But I really do mean it when I say it doesn't bother me as much. For example, I should be really scrambling right now to get like another theatrical agent in LA, because I'm going to go back pretty soon. Even a commercial agent. I really haven't done shit to try to get a new agent, because it's not that important to me. Honestly, like, it's not that important to me, being in a McDonald's commercial or, recurring on a series, like a TV series. For some people, like, that's what they dream about. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to be, Dr. Patel on One Life to Live. Like, I know I was auditioning for that kind of stuff, but that stuff does not drive me. What drives me is having a voice, having a clear comedic voice where, you watch my shit and you're like, that's Tarun Shetty. Now, if I can, plug that in somewhere, great. But to go mainstream and to say, oh, hey, sorry you never went mainstream, like, I don't want anybody to ever feel sorry for me. Which, by the way, I don't think people do feel sorry for me. I don't think people even think about me, for that matter, which is fine. That's totally fine. Like, here's a quick story. So last night, I did this mic in McCurdy's Comedy Club in Sarasota. And the host was a guy, I was in Florida, comedian. I don't know who he is, but I was trying to be friendly, right? I always like talking to old school comedians because we know the same guys. And I was like, hey, what's up? How are you? And I was like, hey, where'd you start doing comedy? And he's like, Florida. But I kind of got the sense he was blowing me off. He was like, yeah, anyways, kid, because it was an open mic. And I was like, dude, you don't even know who I am. Like, you don't, not the sense of who I am of my credits, but it's like, you don't know how much experience I have on stage, but people judge you at open mics, right? People just assume that you're just some nascent comedian who has no experience, and that that can dictate how they talk to you. So I had a good set and I left, but that definitely stuck in my mind. I remember being 19 years old, the Comedy Connection in Boston, and the booker, forget his name, whoever was running the Comedy Connection in Boston in like 2000 or 1999, I was in the kitchen with him and like Steve Sweeney, who's a big Boston comic, and some other Boston headliner. Like, they were in the kitchen and I was like a comic, and I was just nearby, and the guy was like, what are you doing back here, open micer, or something like that, some like ridiculous comment, like the way he was talking to me, like just I was so scared because I was an open micer and I did suck, but I was like, man, I guess that's how you talk to people, which is complete bullshit. Like, you don't talk to anybody like that. You talk to everybody exactly the same. So again, I have this thing where whoever you are on the comedy scale, I will talk to you exactly the same. Like, how you define people based on what they've done in life, and it does freak me out a little bit that we put famous people on pedestals. I've been around them, and people do, in fact, treat them much differently. There's a great documentary called Comedian with Jerry Seinfeld, and Jerry Seinfeld's obviously the star, but the other guy is Orny Adams, up-and-comer in the documentary, and they follow both their lives. And I heard Orny Adams, the up-and-comer, got that part because Seinfeld was shooting the documentary, and they interviewed Orny Adams, and they were like, hey, what do you think of Jerry? And he goes, yeah, he's kind of outdated, his style of comedy. Like, I don't know what he's doing. Like, he just kind of, was really honest, and Jerry saw the footage, and he's like, this is the only guy that has the balls to criticize me. He's like, put him in the documentary. Because otherwise, people are just kissing his ass all day. This is a roundabout way of saying that I think mainstream success is terrific, but there's a lot of downside that goes with it. I don't think people are ever real around you. The headlines I saw, I don't know too much about the acting world, like Anne Heche died in a car accident. Tomorrow or next month, like, people are just going to forget about her. Like, but for a second, for a hot flash, she was probably the shit. She was in Harrison Ford movies. She was a leading actress. There's a lot of money at stake for the movie she was in. But the celebrity thing going mainstream, it's kind of a short-lived thing. So yeah, I would take it in a heartbeat, but it does not define me. Hopefully. Again, really easy to have these opinions when I'm in a Florida lanai. Hope you guys are having a great week. Have a good weekend. Thanks for watching. See ya.